Hello YouTube, and welcome to our 45th Unity 3D tutorial. And this tutorial is going to be another suggested tutorial. So the user Everything 2012 has asked that if we can do a menu like the main menu, but using GUI, so all scripting like we did for the inventory. Now I thought it's a bit pretty pointless if I do two of them, two main menus, because we really need one. So I thought that we would expand on our main menu and make the main of it 3D like here, and then the options part is a GUI text. Well, GUI, so that it's scripted. It'll work the exact same, and it'll be really cool. So it'll teach you how to do it. But first, what we're going to do is fix it. So last week we did this, but we attempted to make it so when you hover over it, it changes colour, but that failed. So that really annoyed me, and it turns out I figured out what was wrong. I missed a capital letter. Well, 3. I got 3 mixed up. So if you go back to your main menu in your HUDs and double click your main menu, we typed function on mouse over renderer.material.color color.red. Now that code is actually correct. So if we unlock that, oops, oh not that, there we go. And then what we're going to do is change this first colour to a lowercase, the second colour to a higher case, and the colour name to a lowercase. It is that annoying. Now if we test it now, it will work, which is very annoying. However, you will notice something. We'll get onto the on-GUI in a minute, by the way. As you can see, it stays, which isn't what we want. The reason it's doing that is because on mouse over, when we highlight it, it changes it to red. Nothing changes it back. So the easiest way to do this is to copy this and paste it in here. On mouse, leave. So when it leaves the item, renderer will say white. So let's see if white works. So we highlight it, and it goes. Well, it crashes because I click play. Oops. So don't click play. So when it loads. Oh, important news about the loading screens. It's getting quite tedious to think of something every tutorial we do. So what I'm going to start doing is, instead of giving you one every 10 tutorial, I'm going to give you one every 10 tutorials. So since this is the 45th one, at the 55 tutorial I'll give you 10 loading screens. That's if people start to miss it. But if nobody wants it, I'll stop doing it. But yeah, so we'll try again. So no loading screen for today, but you'll get 10 next week. Well, next time we do it. Okay, so that apparently doesn't want to work. On mouse leave, on mouse exit. There's a lot of words for on mouse, whatever. So let's have a look. Is it loaded yet? Have I clicked it again? Yes, I have. But I think it works. I think I saw it working. So let's have a look. There we go. So as you can see, on mouse exit is the code, and that sends your eyes funny because you jump at it so fast. But there we go. So at the moment we click the options screen, nothing happens. So we're going to code that to do something. Now I was looking at it and thinking, what's the best way that we could do it? How can we make it? Well, there's many ways. We could load another scene, which is quite tedious. We could move the camera, or we could rotate the camera, like so. It's up to you, but I, in this tutorial, are going to make it move. So what I'm going to do is just drag it from there, and on the x-axis I'm just going to move it all the way across, so you can't see that one no more. Say to 100, we'll say it to 100 for that. So it'll be there. And then we'll design our level there, then when we're done we set it back to 0, it replaces. So in the code, when we click the options screen, all we do is make it move to 100. Simple as that. So what I'm going to do is move it to 100 again. But this time I'm going to duplicate the floor here, Control D or right click duplicate, Control or Command D. And we'll call this floor underscore 2 for our second floor. We could just expand that one, but I really don't want to, because it might result in more work. So I'm going to change this to 100, so it's in the right camera, so as you can see it's in the right place. I'm going to move the spotlight, so as you can see it's minus 12, so quick maths in my head, 12 off of 100 is 88. Oh no, duplicate it first. Spotlight 2. Everything 2 is this one. So that's good enough. So we've got a basic floor. What I'm going to do is just make it look different. So change it to 65. Spotlight angle a bit bigger. And change the rotation of it. So we just need it to look different basically. Like so. So if we were to get our camera and go from 100 to 0 to 100 to, oh no, 100 to 0, 100 to 0. So as you can see, it does look a bit different for now. I'm going to duplicate the wall and call this wall 2 and put it back at 100 again. So if we go back to our camera and move it to 100 again, so it looks like you can definitely tell it's changed, but we can see it. Look, there we go. If you did want it to rotate, what you could do is just move the floor to here and everything. And what we can eventually do is on some of the old PlayStation 1 games, what they do is they would have a whole scene laid out with buildings and a city and stuff, and the camera would animate through it and then eventually pull up while it's going through seeing everything and pull up to the right place. So you click it and then it does it, then you do it again, and then it loads the level. So we can eventually do that, but not today. So first we need, what's the first thing we need to do? Well, we could either start coding the GUI, which will be pointless because we won't be able to see it till we click the options screen. So we'll just make it click the options screen for now. So open up your code editor, and in the options screen here, we don't need this no more. So you can get rid of that, and we will type. First we need to find our game object. So game object dot find, and it is called main camera. So if we just check that to double check it. Main camera, there it is. You could also assign a variable, but I'm not going to. And then dot transform dot position. So we change the position. It's called, I think it's called rotate or rotation. So you'd have to type both of them in there to try it, but either one will work. And I want to change the x-axis for the rotation. You might have to change the y-axis. There's probably no reason why you want to do the scale, so you could try it. I don't know what would happen, but yeah. And then, well, we said the x-axis will be 100. So that will take us all the way over to there. So let's see. So it loads, we click it. Boom. There we go. So it's transported us. You don't see animate move it to it. If you want to do that, we could do it. Oh, our text is slightly grey. If you look at it, you can actually, it changes colour completely. So we'll just click options, and there you can see. So it just jumps. I'll show you in scene view just one more time so you can see it jump. It goes straight from 0 to 100. Straight away. Boom. Gone. Easy as that. So that's that one done. Now, for the options screen, the GUI part, I was actually going to do it in here. And I planned it out in here, but then it came to mass misery. For the options screen, I'm not going to go into all the controls, volume, graphics yet. We'll do that far away when we're about to render it. But for now, I'm just going to do a quick difficulty setting. So you can go on, click it, and it changes the difficulty of it. So you can have like easy, medium, or hard. But so I put it in here, and I made a label saying your current status, so you could see what you were on. But then every time you clicked a different one, it'd overlap it, and it'd just keep overlapping it every time you clicked it, and you couldn't read it. And I found out it was because this script is attached to multiple, what do you want to call it? Multiple objects. So every time you click one, it activates it for all, and then they all jump on all at once, and then it all does it again and again and again. So we don't want that. So what we're going to do is in our HUDs, we're going to create another JavaScript, and we'll call this options menu, and we'll attach this to the options screen, or shall we attach it to the wall here? I'm going to attach it to the wall here. Don't know why, it just looks better probably. So we'll go into that. Alright, so we have this. First thing we're going to do is start our function. So we can get rid of this update because we don't need this. Pull that down, and we'll call this function on GUI. So there's our first one. We have actually covered this, so if this is all new to you, you definitely want to check out the inventory tutorial, which actually seems to be my most popular tutorial at the moment. Nice, but yeah, so we've done that. So what's the first thing we're going to do? We need to check if the camera has been moved or if the option menu is true. So we could either do this by creating a static boolean, so it checks, or we could just copy this line here. So we copy the moving position and type if and paste it in. If GameObject.find main camera dot position, and if we put two equals in and get rid of the semicolon, it's now an if statement. So if it equals 100, then it will activate all this. If it doesn't, it'll automatically deactivate it, which we've learnt before. Simple. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin by creating a group, which was already done. So GUI.begin group. This will be a new rect. I'm not going to go into the detail of explaining all of this because I have already covered it. If you're one who watches all of the tutorials, then you've seen this before. You could actually just copy and paste it from your inventory. Simple. So in here I'm going to call, what's my X and Y position? I'll say 500 and 250. So on the small screen, which I've reduced, it'll probably be about here in the middle. But I guess so 250. The scale of it, you want to put this as your monitor, so you could actually call it screen.width, screen.height, but I'm just going to go 920 by 1080 at the moment because I'm not 100% sure if that code works. So do we want anything? No, we don't want it. Well, do we want it specific? Nah. So we'll just leave it, and then we'll just end that here. So GUI.endGroup, like so. So now that's done, we are going to create first a label. So you've moved scene, but what's this new scene? So we're going to say it's your options screen. We can go through all the bother of adding fonts and everything later, but now we're not going to. So name, we'll just note that so we know what it is. And we're going to call this GUI.label is a rect, and it will be, where do I want it? Well, I want it in the middle of the screen, probably at the top somewhere. So if I call this 250, is that probably in the middle? I'm guessing, not 100% sure, so please don't bully me about that. We'll call it 10, and the scale of it, on labels, unless you've got lots of labels in columns, which is column, 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 you will want as big as possible, because then if you ever change it in game, it stays the same. So I'm just going to call this 300, which is quite large, and the y-axis will be 60 because it's not that big. The text of it will be saying options screen, or should we call it menu? We'll call it menu. Options menu. There we go. Now, here we're going to actually put some of the options into it. So, as I said earlier, we're going to do a difficulty setting, which my idea of it is we are eventually going to make the enemies hit harder, you take more damage, there's more enemies, they gang up on you more and all that. But for now, all we're going to do is reduce the player's health. So I can't remember if I've ever seen a game with this in, not saying that I've made it up, but I've probably got it from somewhere. But you spawn, if you're on easy, you've got full health. Bonus, yeah, you start off full health. But if you're on medium, you get half health. And if you're on easy, yes, it does sound like you should have no health, but I'm going to put you on literally 10 health. So one shot kill and you're dead. So a pro player would have to instantly run away. And it makes it harder because they've got to already get food from the beginning of the game. So it's easy. Well, harder. So what I'm going to do is note out at the beginning of this, so when we scroll down, because if we get more options, this is going to be huge. And I'm just going to put some of them squiggly lines on, which I actually don't know what they're called. And I'm going to call this difficulty. I actually can't spell that, so if that's spelt wrong, I am sorry. I will change it off screen if it is, and tell you next time. So we've called that difficulty, and what we're going to do is just duplicate that below, so we can put it down here, and we'll just call this null, like so, because then it saves us having to change it next time. So in here, what are we going to do? First we want a button, or do we want a label? We'll do the label, because what we're going to make it do is show what difficulty you are currently on. So we've already done this, GUI.label rect, this will be 10, so 10 across, 30 down. I have actually already got the numbers of these. I was sat for ages working these out. So I've got like a checklist, right? GUI label.x equals this, GUI.y equals this. Yeah, so the text, what do we want? So I took into mind what the subscriber said ages ago about the money, where we could put it all on one line, and I expanded that. So we're going to put difficulty is currently So select your difficulty basically. So everything below this is difficulty. It will be plus. Now what we need is a string variable which we can change using the buttons, and it will update it on this label. So what I'm going to do is create static var, and we'll call this current difficulty equals, and what should we call it? We'll leave it null for now. And we'll paste this in here, so plus, so it'll say difficulty, bracket, and it'll say options menu dot current difficulty plus, actually I've done that wrong, difficulty, that bracket right here. Then we're just going to end it with a bracket like so, but in here, this is just fancy effects at the moment, so we're going to add another plus. So after it's opened its brackets, it's going to say currently, yeah, that's right, and then add a plus, so that's it. So if we were to play that now, it would say, you'd see a label saying difficulty, bracket, currently, space, then it'll show what difficulty it is, which is blank at the moment, then it'll end it with a bracket, so it looks neat and tidy. So, should I add one there? Yeah. Oh no, I ate it when I pressed that button. Yeah, so that's that. So below here we can add our buttons to it now. So we're going to first put easy. So this is the easy difficulty. So if GUI.button rect, you can also do this with the grids what we did, but I thought, well, we're only having 3 difficulties. Well, I'm going to, so it's kind of pointless. Probably more code if anything. So we'll just might as well keep it like this. Rect, this will be 40 across, 70 down, so from the top 70. It will be 80 wide and 30 down, so it's small. And now we need a cool name. We're not just going to put easy, it's easy difficulty. We want something cool like, can't think of any. Most games like will say like something to fit in with the game. Like I think Mortal Kombat's not got easy, medium, hard. It's got something like beginner, shooting expert or something. I don't know. We just want something cool. So I'm going to call this human, because we all know humans aren't as good as super people. So yeah, so this will be player full health. So we'll give him full health here. So if he clicks that, he's got full health, or he has already default got full health, which is good. However, we want it to change what the current difficulty is. So we're going to copy that, paste it in below, and put equals, and we're going to type exactly what the thing says. So every time we click that button, it'll change this to that. This will update again, and it'll say your current difficulty is human. So we're going to copy this, paste it 3 times. So copy it up here, paste, paste. Medium and hard. Player half health. So we want to move this down, so the X and Y axis is all good, but what do we want to move it down by? I'm going to move it down by 40, so I'll say 110. And so it'll bump it down and give it some space. And what skill level is it going to be this time? We will call him Emperor. Emperor does sound like he's the best, but actually the Elder Gods are the best. Simple, because humans are the people who don't have powers. Emperors are people like Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung, kind of. But Elder Gods like Raiden, they can't die. Well, unless the rules of Mortal Kombat change, blah blah blah. Yeah, so get back into it. We'll paste this into here. And for the final one, we will call it Elder God. And do it again, Elder God. So you were full God, and player little health. So he's got little health. Move it down by 40 again from 110, which is 150. So that's it. So if we keep that in there, it is good. It's default on human level, so we'll paste it up here. So it starts off, he's already got 100 health. Now if you wanted to use that script for your main menu, all you would do is change that to say play game, and in here put application.load level what. And then this, options level, do this, hard, do this. You can put it all in one script if you like, but I've put it into 2. So if we were to try that now, that should work 100%, fingers crossed. It won't show as soon as we start. Let's click maximize on play to make it look better. So, let's see if it works, hopefully. Because because I've got some interesting tutorials coming up. So as you can see, that's grey and that's white. But yeah, so the reason you can hit it here is because that label is like yay big. So yeah, but so if you click options, boom, there we go. It's not at the top or anything, but so we've got options menu, difficulty currently human. So we can't click human, it doesn't do no. If we click emperor, change to emperor. It looks like a sad face there. Oh no. And then elder god, press elder god. So currently elder god, oh my god, it's hard. So we can change it. So we've got a basic difficulty level, but it doesn't actually do anything at the moment. So what I'm going to do is change the options menu back into middle. So I don't want it over there, it's too far out. So we'll say 50, not 500, 50, yeah. But what we need to go and do before we try it again is open up our player health. So we just type in health. Player health here. Is this the right one? Looks like the script. We're looking for the one with the static var. Yep, it is. So we're going to type in, rename that. Okay, we've got no rename. So we'll open that up and we'll copy player health. You shouldn't actually do that either. You shouldn't call the script and the variable name the same thing, because that's kind of bad. So we've got 27 is our health. Kind of an odd number to have, but okay, we did it. And we'll type player health dot player health equals 27. So it's full. We will eventually have to change that to a variable if you want to increase the player's health capacity, but not for now. Player health dot player health, is that right? Yep. Equals, so what's half of 27? 10, 3, 4, we'll say 16. It's probably not right, but I'm not too good with the maths. And hard, we will put player health dot player health equals 3. There we go. So that's how you make a GUI menu. I'm not actually sure if that transfers between levels, the health. We might actually have to put it in the player's health. But other than that, it should work. So if we click options, actually we need a back button. That shouldn't take long to do. We need a back button right here, so we click it and it takes us back to 0. So in here, we're going to copy this random one here. And below this, we're going to put here. We're going to get rid of this one. And we'll type in here, close button. In fact, we'll call it back. And in here, it will say 2 arrows back. So you click it, it's got 2 little arrows. It looks cool. Everyone's happy. So we'll rename this 40 plus start is 90. And we don't want it at the beginning. We want it all the way at the end. So we'll say 100. Same width and everything. And here, we will type this code right here. So I'll paste this into here. Move it down and out. Equals, what do we want it to equal? 0. That's it. We've got a back button. Simple as that. So see, when you get to learn this code, a lot of it is you just copy and paste. Copy and paste, change, copy and paste, change. It's really easy. If you look at all them, grey, 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 white. So yeah, click it, there's our back button. We could move it around, but I'm not going to spend ages doing it. Back, oh the god, boom. There we go. Click play game. And if he's got like 3 health, I'm going to be so happy. It works! I'm happy! Yay! A glitch I've found with the trees, if you look, they're all white, which is not what we want. Does it still work? Yes! I'm actually very happy about the inventory, because when I was working on it, I couldn't get it to work, but then I got it to work for YouTube, so I'm happy. When you go close to it, it changes. Now, I have told you why it does that before, is it changes it to a picture when you're far away. So when you go back onto it, when you go away from it, we've currently set the picture to a white texture for some strange reason, which we'll fix later. But there you go, so we've got a harder game now. 3 health. Ooh. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Next tutorial, we are going to do something weird. I can't actually remember what we're going to do. So thanks for watching. Any problems, comment below. Thank you to Everything 2012 for the suggestion, and see